when you move into the flow, everything is working through you. Okay, things are being created for you when you're not resisting life. Resisting life, let's give an example of that, is when you're in a complaining mode. When you're thinking about, I wish my kids would pick up the towels in the bathroom instead of throwing them on the floor. You might want to have a conversation with the kids, but you don't need to keep mulling over and complaining inside of them doing that. Okay, being in that complaining mode, being in envy, jealousy, judging your neighbors, is ugly, messy. When you go into that, it's like popping your balloon. Your dream is this balloon, and you're putting pins in it. You're letting the air out of it. A hot air balloon actually lays flat on the ground. So it's a huge flat piece of fabric. And the basket's on its side and it has fuel tanks, and the fabric of the balloon is completely flat and deflated on the ground. And when someone holds the opening of the balloon and they fire up the fuel, and it's blowing the gases, the fire, the flame into the balloon. Okay, that's the energy that's inflating that balloon until it can go upright. Okay? And they keep heating that balloon until it's at the point that the air inside is so hot and active, it will rise. Imagine your thoughts as that flame. You're keeping that balloon inflated. And once it lifts off, your dream is coming true. So if you start to prick pins into your balloon and you're allowing that heat to escape, how is that balloon going to lift off? Those pin pricks are your complaints. They're judging your neighbor. They're beating yourself up. They're worried and fearful that this can never happen. Those doubts. Okay? So when you have that kind of an experience and you've got doubt that keeps coming and you just can't shut it off, this is when you really want to just shift your thinking to something positive. And that's not the word I want to use. Shift your thinking to what you desire. I kind of turn against positive thinking. When I hear someone say, well, you need to think positive, it just pisses me off. So I don't want to use that term in case you relate the same way. Think about your dream and imagine it as true. And yeah, you're thinking that you are not in reality when you're doing that. Good, because the reality you're living in now is not the one you want. You want something better. Okay. And just for your enjoyment, I want to show you the inside. This is the inside of a hot air balloon. It's enormous. Yeah, just kind of cool. I took these at the balloon festival, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. I never knew I'd be using the images for a class. So thanks, Janine. Yeah, the visual helps. Okay, let's scroll up here. Lorraine says, I have my dream, but also feel very grateful for where I am in life right now, which is what you want to be doing. That's fabulous. Could that be confusing to the universe? No. Perhaps the unseen becomes unclear on what I truly want. The only way the unseen nature of life is unclear is when you're sending mixed messages about what you want. Mixed messages is our typical default thinking. Okay? So the thoughts that are running in the background all the time, 24/7, we all have them. It's just a mishmash of complaints, fears, busyness. Oh, I got to do this and this and this. And oh, what if I'm late? Oh, I'm late again. These are the mixed messages that have created what your life is like right now. Okay, direct connection. This is what has created it. Nothing else. You've created the situations, circumstances, problems, good things, everything is what you're experiencing right now is what you were thinking previously. And I don't mean, I'm talking about just that default thinking, because until you know what to do differently, we just stay in that. That's how we live. That's just it's typical. It's a culmination of our programming and us responding to what's going on around us that we don't like. When you know there's another way of doing something, you are taking your focus, your imagination, you are sending your, I guess you could use energy, attention, intention, whatever it is you want to call it, to a very clear image of what you want. That's very different than what you have been focusing on. It is very a narrow, streamlined idea, and you in your mind knowing this is what I want. And then you repeat that on occasion. Okay, so you're redirecting the flow of everything that's gone before and everything you experience now into a stream towards what you want. You're pointing your camera at what you want. You're capturing that image and you're feeling it as true. You're just pretending. Yeah, look at the key to my new front door. Oh my gosh, my door is beautiful. My home is amazing. And then you step in. And what's the hall look like? What room do you enter into? How high are the ceilings? What's the air feel like in your new home? I mean, this takes a moment. We're not talking 5 minutes. We're talking a moment. And you do it on occasion. You have focused your energy and identified what you want. Now, you can make that muddled again by living in the mishmash of thoughts and feelings that you were having for your whole life. Until we start to quiet that stuff, we continue to create it. So that's when we want to quiet our fears, our doubts, our worries. And we have tools to deal with that. So you have unwanted thoughts come up, judgmental thoughts, a fearful thought. Well, fear's a whole other thing. If you make an appointment with your fear and say, I'm not going to think about you for 2 days, and you just set it aside, and then you imagine your dream is true, whatever you feared usually works itself out all on its own. And if anything, if that doesn't happen, it's greatly diminished to the point it's manageable, whatever you have to deal with. So we have ways of doing this. You notice these unwanted thoughts, the busyness, this and that. Think about your dream to quiet your mind, or repeat a mantra if that helps you, or an affirmation if you enjoy them, or just repeat the words, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or yes to life, yes to love, yes to happiness, yes to dogs, yes to fun, yes to my new career. Yes is a magic word. It opens doors. It allows for flow. It's the opposite of what's the word? Resistance.